What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We are currently on the test server, guys. In today's video, we're gonna have a look at the new artifact rebalance, and I gotta say, I'm honestly super excited for it. I feel like definitely some good things are about to happen with the artifacts. Yes, we do have a bit of an issue with the storage, so hopefully they're gonna do something about it, which we're gonna discuss it in just a second. We have a brand new legendary champion coming to the game, and that is the actual fusion. Nothing else whatsoever. It's a fragment event, so it's gonna be pretty straightforward. You don't have to build up different champions. And we have the 6-star rebalance on blessings, the buff of the 6-star blessings. Let me just put it like that. And yes, it's pretty hardcore, as expected, you know. But first, let's have a quick look at the Fusion Champion. So I'm gonna do a guide on this champion. Probably is gonna drop at the same time with this video, so feel free to check it out if you are curious to see what Loriaka can actually do. In terms of base stats, fairly decent base stats, Spirit Affinity, Skinwalkers. I don't find the champion extremely powerful. I feel like a lot of people kind of like misunderstood what this thing right here does. Places a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns. I've seen a lot of comments where people thought that this is block debuffs like Ugo does, or Uko for Hydra, or Supreme Gallic. Is not a debuff. So basically, she puts immunity on your team. She will give you block debuffs buff, so it's not a debuff. So just because a lot of people got this wrong and thought that will be great for Hydra. Well, it's not bad to have block debuffs on, but it's not the debuff that everybody wants to have in Hydra, basically, you know. So all around, looks pretty interesting as a champion. How I mentioned, the base stats are not insane, but fairly decent, you know. So the A1 has a chance to steal a random buff. The A2, you have decreased resistance. It can help you, don't get me wrong, but you need accuracy for this to work. So if you're trying to debuff somebody that has 700-800 resistance, like some of the very high-end bosses in the game, you need to have very high accuracy as well. So it's not gonna make it easy. You're gonna need to build her with very high accuracy, and I don't find her as powerful, as helpful for progression either, all around, you know. But that's everything for the Fusion Champion. Check out the guide if you guys want to find out more about the champion. We'll do a full breakdown in there. What I do want to cover right now, and the thing that I'm excited for, is the actual artifact rebalance. I feel like finally something good happened, you know. So at the moment we have quite a few artifacts that are not that great, right? So you have Fury, for example, which is decent. Damage increases as HP decreases. Now I can't really remember how much of a buff was overall in terms of damage. I might be wrong on this, so don't hang me for it, but I think around 30 to 40% increase in damage when your HP is dropped completely to 1%, okay? I feel like that's sort of the level that it had before. Maybe not so much. I really cannot remember, and I couldn't find any info anywhere around. So that's one thing on the Fury set. So that's gonna get a bit of a buff. Then we have the Frenzy set, which is not that amazing. We have the Retaliation, we have the Avenging sets, we have the Curing, we have the Curse, we have quite a few different sets that were not great all around, you know. So let me just start directly with the sets that are actually getting a buff. Now, talking about Fury, the Fury set will actually get a buff. So this is on the test server, so you're gonna be able to find the actual description. And this is what I had on the actual account, right, before the patch is live. So this is pretty vague. We don't know how much of a buff it actually got, you know. So we're gonna have to wait and find out. Then the next set that we have on as being buffed is actually nothing else but Frenzy. So Frenzy is getting a complete revamp, for example. So instead of getting 5%, 10% turn meter for every 5% HP lost, now you're getting 5% turn meter for each debuff received, which is pretty interesting. Now, this can be more helpful now in PvE, for example, because if you're getting a lot of debuffs on your team, this will allow you to get a lot of turn meter. In a way, I don't necessarily think that is much better than what it used to be before, but it might bring some uses for it, you know, like at the moment it's very niche to use a build on a frenzy, right? Like you guys know how it goes with the frenzy. Like there are a couple of champions that benefit quite a bit from the way the frenzy works as it is at the moment, but seeing this new way, we might be able to see new things. Now even for arena, I will find it very hard to get a use out of it because of polymorph and many other things that we have in the game. I feel like if the frenzy set was like this a couple of years ago, it would have been amazing for all those metas, you know, especially for arena. It would have been such a nice set. The next one that we have on the list as getting buffed, guys, is gonna be retaliation. So the old retaliation is a 35% chance to counterattack when hit and is a 4-piece set. Now is a 2-piece set, which is amazing, right? And is a 15% chance to counterattack when hit. I feel like this set is definitely gonna get a lot of value. Like a lot of nukers will be getting this set. Definitely a very, very good buff on this. I'm all in for it. 15% chance to counterattack when hit, and to be a two-piece set. Definitely a pretty strong change on it. And seems like I actually have a couple of good pieces, so I might be able to actually use it on somebody, you know. Like this is a nice helmet, so I can finally put it to use. Then the next set that is getting changed is Avenging. So Avenging, the old way how we had it in the game, was a 45% chance to counterattack when hit with a critical hit. Now Avenging will work in the following way: 45% chance to counterattack when receiving debuffs. This will make it much better in a way or another for PvE content as well. Like just think about you go in the Dragon Dungeon, and if it works 45% chance for each debuff you're getting on, right, it's gonna be much better. Like the dragon puts 3-4 poisons on you, bang, you're gonna have 3 or 4 chances to proc this. Hopefully that's the way it works. I might rush and call it out like that. It might not work like this, so we're gonna have to wait and see. I haven't actually had a chance to try it out either to confirm it or deny it, but it would be nice if it will work like that. Let me know, what do you think about this? You know, like 45% chance to counterattack when receiving debuffs. Sounds interesting in a way or another, but then if you were getting hit as well and you still had a 45% chance to counterattack, it was still kind of like same cup of tea, you know. I feel like they're intending it more towards debuffs, you know. But yeah, pretty curious to see. Now, one of my most favorite buffs on the sets right here is gonna be the Curing set. So as it stands right now in game, the Curing set will give you a 20% bonus heal. While after the buff, the Curing will give you a 20% bonus heal, and the bonus heal restores the destroyed HP. This set will now be great for the Sand Devil's Necropolis. You can run it on a champion on Hydra if you want, actually, because you're gonna be able to restore the destroyed HP. So I feel like this is definitely a nice touch to the set and is finally getting some value, you know. Having a nice Curing set on the right healer will actually provide you with a lot of utility all around. And not just that, but even for arena, you know, because I feel like a lot of people start slowly to use a Life Harvester, you know, and this could be a pretty nice counter mechanic to that blessing. Even though it's gonna be pretty hard to make them meet with each other in arena and stuff, because yeah, it's not really gonna take over a Stone Skin set or anything like that, but it's kind of like a nice touch to it, you know, in my opinion. The next set that is getting a bit of a buff in here, and again, this is one of my most favorite changes too. I have 0 pieces from this set. I'm always selling them. I was like, I will never use this set. I will have to go and farm Ice Golem now. But basically, you have the Cursed set. A 4-piece set has a 75% chance to place a 50% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. After the buff, the Cursed set will have a 50% chance to place a Hex debuff for 2 turns. And this is definitely gonna be nice for Hydra. Like, I could run this on a Krisk. I could run this on a Krisk and have a chance at landing the Hex on the Head of Mischief, be able to control that much better, you know. So I'm definitely feeling very positive about this change to the Curse set, because this was one of the most irrelevant sets in the entire game, and they finally gave it a bit of purpose, you know. So I'm very satisfied with this change. Let me just put it like that, you know. And we have one more change in here that, again, I have 0 pieces from this set whatsoever. It comes from the Doom Tower, and you guessed it right, it's the Affinity Breaker set. So as it was standing before in game, a 4-piece set, 30% crit damage, and a 20% chance to change weak hit into a critical hit. After the buff, you still get 30% crit damage, but you have a 50% chance to change the weak hit to a critical hit. Now, I still don't think this set will be amazing, honestly. Yes, if by any chance you are struggling on a particular boss and you cannot pass that particular affinity to move over to the higher stages, and this is your final option on the table, then yes, I would use this set. If I'm not in that situation, I would never use this set. Let me just make it clear the way it is. The damage that you're getting from it is not worth dropping a Savage set, it's not worth dropping a Lethal set, or dropping Cruel sets, dropping Instinct sets, just to gain that 50% chance to transform the weak hit into a crit hit instead, you know. This is everything for the artifact rebalance, guys. I'm definitely pretty positive about it. I think there's some nice changes. I like the idea of getting a 2-piece set for the retaliation. I like the idea of the curing set. I like the idea of the curse set. Pretty nice touches to it. I'm not sure how to feel about the frenzy though, and the avenging. I don't really think they're gonna be super game changing all around or anything like that, but yeah. And of course we do have the issue with artifact storage. I definitely think that this should go up to like 2000, man. Like, it's so hard to drop all these artifacts. Like, if you're dropping some of the pieces, like, for example, I always sell the cursed ones, because I said I'll never use that set, you know? And if I would have had more space, I would have probably kept a set around, you know? And make use of it now. But because of the space, I sold that. That was like my main priority to sell, because hey, it's just filling my space in here. And it's gonna get harder and harder. Like, so many new sets that they've been added to the game. Zeal, Impulse, Defiant, Bolster, Instinct, Killstroke. So many of them, and we didn't got space for artifacts in a very long time. Now, last time when they added extra artifact space was so laggy that everybody wished to don't get the extra artifact space, because it was awful. So hopefully we're not gonna have the same experience when they are planning to add more space to it, and hopefully they will, you know. Okay, so that's all the positive stuff. Happy about the artifact rebalance. Let's take the cat out of the bag, right? That's how they're saying it. If we're gonna go over to skills, blessings, let's see what we have in here. So Soul Reap, 4-star at the moment on my Turvold. And how you guys can see, I have 500 attack, 25% crit damage. I haven't unlocked the speed yet. Once I'm gonna hit the 6-star, well, right now the speed instead of 10 went up to 15. So a half of what it used to be before added to it. You're gaining 250 more attack. You are gaining 13% more crit damage. So basically, you're getting half of everything that a blessing was giving you before once you reach 6-star on top of it. That's what the buff did to the blessings. Definitely very, very powerful. So 250 attack on a nuker is roughly 17% attack boost, okay? Most of them, they have like, what, 1.5k attack. So it's roughly around there, you know? And some of them, they have 1.6k, 1.4k, but you guys get the idea. It depends by which nuker what kind of like covering in here. If we're having a look at a different blessing, Faultless Defense. So this one, for example, will actually give you extra resistance, extra HP, extra speed. If we're having a quick look at, let's just see, Intimidating Presence, right? You're gaining more speed, more resistance, more defense. once you reach 6 star. If we're having a quick look at Brimstone, you're gaining more accuracy, more HP, more speed. If we're having a look at, let's see, what do we have? Temporal Chains. You're gaining more accuracy, more speed, more defense. So having a 6 star blessing right now, you're actually gaining extra accuracy, more speed, and more defense. So my Warlord will be happy, right? But I feel like I only have Warlord at 6 stars, so I won't be hitting a jackpot with it, you know what I mean? I feel like the stats are a bit too much now, you know? Like, they've definitely made a massive buff, like a 50% buff, okay? So all blessings got buffed by 50% once you reach 6 star. That's a massive, massive buff. And probably only the super elite will really benefit out of it, the ones that have tons of heroes at 6 stars. You might think that, well, Skratch, I have 2 heroes at 6 stars. Yes, we are benefiting from our stats. So how I said, my Warlord will get lucky. But guess what? My 6 star Warlord will actually get to fight a 6 star Duchess, who basically got extra stats as well. So it's not like, wow, my Warlord is gonna wreck it. It's pretty much the same thing in between the heroes. But the ones that have tons of them at 6 stars are the ones that really benefit from this change, you know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We don't know nothing so far in terms of events and things like this because we don't really have them on the test server. I'm curious to hear your opinion on the artifact rebalance, on the blessing buff, and yeah, let me know in the comments down below. That was all for this video. As usual, appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.